Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good
Well,
evening. Maayong gabi.
gabi.
Um, Welcome to another talkback session. Tonight's talkback session in the still ongoing Mindanao Film Festival, and it's a very exciting talkback session for tonight because this is for the first time that will happen that we're going to um, talk with filmmakers that are not from the Philippines. That's right, Dolph, right?
Yes, yes. We will be having foreign exhibition short films. Okay, ako na mag-introduce sa kanila. So, we have Iskandar Azizuddin of Bisik, Muhammad Rosyid of Lungo, Lungo. Jakkrapan Sriwichai of Stencil's daughter, Idan Firdaus of The Sun Never Sets, Naichi Myat No Wint of Two Sisters, and Saiyeed Shahjada Al Kareem of Ainer Dorojay or Before the Law. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Actually, Rosyid, I think, and Idan is not yet with us, but I hope they can catch up.
Mhm.
No.
Mhm.
But in the meantime, before we start actually talking about the films, I think it's good to know good for the audience to know that we have actually an exhibition of films that are not from the Philippines.
Yes.
These are Asian films. We have started to program Asian films since 2 years ago, actually, but
Mhm.
of course now is the first time that we actually have this kind of talk back, and I guess because of the pandemic, this was made possible through digital means. No? So we are very lucky and grateful that the filmmakers of the films that you have just watched are here to join us. No? So thank you guys for taking your time and giving us your time to join for this talk back. And I guess before we get into discussing or discussion, I would like to ask, how are you right now? What keeps you busy? Maybe introduce a little bit something about yourself. What are you working on? Things like that. So I guess we'll start from Isk and then Jack, Naichi, and then lastly Saeed.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Rudolph. And hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. So I'm Isk. I'm a producer from Malaysia. And currently, actually, we're working on our fifth film. So that's why I'm on my phone right now. I'm on set. We're filming until next
Oh.
Wednesday. We've been filming for about 10 days now. So I'm an indie filmmaker who started off with doing short films. We've produced over 30 short films, and it was only about 3 years ago that we started doing feature films. So we do it on a budget but high concept, and now we're working on our fifth film with a company called Kuman Pictures, whose feature film is representing Malaysia at the Oscars this year. So that's what I'm doing.
So you know Elise.
Yes, I do. She's actually on set
Yeah.
right now. She's just
Oh,
outside.
hi. Hi, Elise. I
Yeah,
met her for the first time last year
yeah.
in
Both
one of the
Elise and
festivals.
Amir are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Small world.
And Jack, hello from
Hello.
Thailand.
Yeah, I'm Jack from Thailand. I'm just a tiny filmmaker, and that's not a big one. But I do a lot of short film, and almost my short film is about ghosts, horror film. Uh, for now, I have been writing a feature project, but it's not done yet. Just that's it.
Where are you from in Thailand, specifically in Bangkok or Chiang
uh,
Mai?
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai. So in the
Yep.
northern part.
Yes.
Do you know? Do you happen to know Big Patompong?
Who's that?
Um, Big from Patong. His name is Patompong. He teaches in the Chiang Mai University.
Lee?
He's a film programmer and lecturer at the Chiang Mai University.
Sorry, I
If
never
you
heard of it.
let me, yeah. Okay, so how about Nai Chi?
Hello, my name is Wint. Actually, I am also an independent filmmaker. I started out as a documentary filmmaker. I make documentaries last 2 3 years, and I changed to this short filmmaking. Then I'm interested in the the directing the film movie. So then I became an independent short filmmaker. Right now, I'm working as a assistant directors in one production. So that's all me.
Thank you, Nai. How about Saiyeed?
Hello, greetings from Bangladesh, everyone. Um, I am Saeed Shahjada Al Karim. Actually, my nickname is Shahjada, and my hometown is Maulvi Bajar. But currently, I am living in Dhaka. It's the capital, and I am actually a short film maker, independent filmmaker. I have completed my honors and masters in television and film studies from University of Dhaka. Just last year, I have passed my masters, and the film in this festival, Ainer Dorojay, it is my graduate production. So currently, I am working as an assistant director in a government-funded project. It's a feature film, and actually two feature films. One is from a national fund, and another is from a part of kind of national fund. So currently, I am trying to gather experience from different kinds of practical works and just roaming around. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayid. We actually have I actually have a friend who's living there in Dhaka right now. Um, she also used to work volunteer for Mindanao Film Festival. Dolph, remember Sheng
Ah,
Kabusao?
okay.
Sheng is right now in Dhaka actually. So
Ah,
I hope she watched the films.
there's this
So
Dabawenyo filmmaker, si Hamir Achacoso, was formerly based also in Dhaka.
oh
Used
really?
to work in a production company there.
Hmm. So the connections,
Among
no.
the early works of Amir were actually the films he shot in Bangladesh.
Oh.
Yun.
Hmm.
What was that? 8 years ago? Ganyan, 6 years ago.
That's great.
So okay,
Hmm.
our first question to the four, because the audience they're already commenting. Rap Meting, as a filmmaker from Davao, is greeting. Shout out to Rap Meting. He's a filmmaker. His film Oligase, have you seen Oligase? It's being featured in the Mindanao Film Festival. Um, Describe to us your film because in for the benefit of the viewers, what can you tell us more about your film? How was the process of making it? Because this is the first time that we have foreign filmmakers in the talkback section. So maybe because maybe you can share some stories about how did you make your film unforgettable experiences to Isk. Maybe we can start with Isk.
Thank you, Rudolph. So, the summary of my film, basically, my film is a conversation between two people. It takes place in 1942 during the Japanese occupation in Malaya, what used to be known as Malaya. Now we're Malaysia. It's about a man who's dying, And as he lays there dying, a little girl stumbles upon him. And this man, he's lost all faith in humanity, lost all faith in God, and this girl sort of has a conversation with him, and just before he dies, all his faith is restored. So in a way, there is a metaphor there. There is, you might think that this girl is an angel, or to sort of let him rest in peace. So that's my film. It takes place mainly at night, and it's just a conversation between two people, and how we question faith, and why all these atrocities happen, but yet there is no intervention from God. So that's basically what my our film is about.
Jack? He's a mute. Jack is muted.
Okay, it's back. Okay, about my stencil daughter is this is the one of the project of therapy. This is kind of cinematherapy, and I would like to talk about the situation, the problem in the every family. Like I has been fighting with my mother about my dream, about my path, my studying, and I think it's kind of it's a good material to kill people, to kill what people are gonna gain from the watching short film, and it is talk about two generation people talking with each other, and sometimes they didn't understand why the parent have to do this, and or why the children have to do this. But and my therapy, my solution of kill is I want how to say, I would like everyone talk, like more talking and listening to each other. Sometimes it's not for just maybe they cannot understand, but I think when we talk or listening is kind of a therapy, some kind of therapies. I think my short film will working like that.
Okay. Nai Chinimet no Wint. Naichi
Okay. So I'm from Myanmar. So I have to explain why it take
in
place in
France.
France. Yeah, this is uh, this film made in workshop in Cinefabric, France. So that's why we are chosen to be participate in France Lyon Cinefabric workshop. 9 of our Myanmar filmmaker is chosen to be there. So we were there for 1 month and making 2 short film together, and one I have to direct it. So this film we've mainly we have 4 writers in this film. So all 4 writer is women also, and they are also Myanmar women. So we talk about what we should uh, point out, what we should do in France as a Myanmar woman. So and we discussed a lot, and then every one of us has each of us has one problem. It's that our parents, they are so controlling, and they don't want to let uh, they don't want us to go out late, and they disapprove of our our situation. They want to hold their authorities like that. So each 4 of us has same situations. So we make the film out of it. So this two sister is a film about two sister, but it's mainly focused on the parents' authority, that our Myanmar woman, we can't go out late at night, and sometimes we even though we are 18 or 30 above, before marriage, we are never allowed to, you know, for some conservative parents, they don't want to allow us getting out late, and even though we want to stay alone, it's not appropriate. So, and this woman, we focus on this woman. They came to other foreign country to study, but their parents, their mother, she want to hold their authorities, her authority. So this came out like that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sayed.
Thank you. This film is kind of a conversation, just like Iskander, between persons, but it's kind of a social film, or you can tell it also a political film, because I tried to address some social and political problems in this current situation in our country. And through this story, actually this story is the cinema is adapted from a story of
Mhm.
Franz Kafka, German, So it was from his novel The Trial, and it was a parable. Its name was The Before the Law. So I just went through the story and found this very, connecting to our social or political situations. So I tried to adapt it according to our social context. So there are different issues, just like the actual agriculture, or the peasants. Actually, the peasants are not getting their wages proper way, or violence against the women's, you know so what happens, in this is a burning issue in our country. And again, there is a problem with our intellectuals. Nowadays intellectuals do not talk against different kinds of socio-political problems. They actually uh, go along with these problems, but do not raise their voice against it. So I tried, in a uh, it's not a direct way, but an indirect way, I tried to address these issues through this film, and just tried to show that it is, in different countries, it is not possible. Actually, if you want to talk about these issues, it is not possible for you to say things in a direct way. So I just try to say things through in an indirect way, and with some subtle dialogues. And through this story, where actually a person comes to a door from a very far away from a countryside, and actually he tries to enter into the door. This door is kind of a door of law, where he seeks uh, justice. But justice is somehow, uh, you know uh, it becomes a very a problematic one for him to enter in this door. And it's kind of an ideological thing also, that if we want to get the justice, we have to achieve it. Nobody will actually provide you in a very easy manner. So mm, after all the days, actually, when he grows old and finds that this door was meant for him, but he didn't try to enter this with force or something. So after all those days, he finds that he must try in a hard way, or in a different way, to seek his justice. So all these things are just accumulated in this short story, and I tried to show things in this way, and just I don't know how actually it worked or not. And that's all, actually. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jay.
Sorry. Yeah, maybe I'd like to follow up on Sayed immediately, because I think it's fair to say that Bangladesh cinema is not that much familiar. For example, in the Philippines, even in, for example, in more urban places like Manila, um, we don't usually get to see much of Bangladesh cinema. Personally, I think the last time that I saw a Bangladesh film was this film called Under Construction. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
royalties. Yeah.
yeah, I saw it in one of the film festivals here also. And so my question is, what can you give us like a picture, a brief picture of um, Bangladesh, contemporary Bangladesh cinema? You were mentioning a while ago that a lot of the topics or themes that have been tackled by films, independent films, are those that tackle social issues. Is there like a strong voice coming out of Bangladesh independent cinema? And then how about the mainstream cinema? Is there also like a Bangladesh mainstream cinema? And yeah, basically, what is like the the status or the picture of Bangladesh cinema right now?
Yeah, I can share some things with you. Uh, Actually, in case of language of cinema, if you discuss about the language, I would like to say that uh, still now we are there haven't uh, you know it we are not able have been able to grow any new kind of language you can just separate from different or mainstream cinema actually. So but in these days from past days, uh, different universities have started some film departments actually.
Mm.
And there is also a film institute in our country just started a few years back. And some I would like to say that some very interesting stories are coming out from those film schools, and those young filmmakers are trying to show different issues, actually social and political issues, through different social languages, new types of language. So they are trying to do something new. And I think if this trend just goes along and just uh, uh, runs a few years more, after a few years you would be able to find different stories and different languages from our films. And in case of mainstream cinema, there are different types of films nowadays. It is being produced. um, uh, I would like to say about my film, because not my film, I the film I am working as an assistant director. It is a government funded film, but if when it will be released, you will find that the film is kind of different in case of its language. You know, our mainstream language is, you will find not only in Bangladesh. In case of India or Bangladesh, you will find that there will be a song or one or five songs, and dance and everything, and all kind of commercial uh, things. So these new films actually, which I am working on, and I know about some other films, they are trying for different kinds of language, which will not just show you or will not just entertain you. They will just make you think about your surroundings, about some political issues, about some social issues. And I think if this works properly, the entire picture of our cinema will change by following few years. I think that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that sharing, and I hope no in the near or maybe next year we get to see more of these films. Is this for Neichi? Is this the same for like Myanmar? Because I think you have relatively or comparatively a young cinema, right? If I'm not mistaken, Watan is in Myanmar, right? And
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
what are other what do you call this filmmaking activities that makes Myanmar cinema what it is now?
Hmm. Right now, for the international film, for the there we have Myanmar Script Fund that support young filmmaker, debut filmmaker, like first or second feature length filmmaker to connect with the international audience. Like this Myanmar Script Fund, they they link with Locarno film festivals and others. So it supports independent filmmakers. So I did join what Myanmar Script Fund in 2017, and I also won a project in like my way back home project there. So I'm now this my script is in the developing stage, so that we can keep going to the production stage. So I'm still trying, and also in Myanmar mostly we have Watan, and right now Myanmar Script Fund, and but others is mostly local film, mostly local festival. I mean, so also actually um, we have our film has been developed a little more and more competitive in here, getting more competitive because we can see in Watan Film Festival. I haven't joined this year, uh, but we can see the quality and the competitiveness of the films and the production design and every quality. We have our film is changing bit by bit.
Mm.
So
Okay, thank you. My question, I guess, for Isk and Jack, because relatively you're, I think, closer to the Philippines than Bangladesh and Myanmar. In the Philippines, the term regional film, regional cinema is very much popular. I guess because Philippines, for example, is a very archipelagic country, and the way digital technology has been democratized, this has enabled filmmakers from different places who have not accessed filmmaking technology before to be able to tell their stories now. And this term, regional cinema, is very much in the consciousness of filmmakers outside of the center, outside of the capital. Um, does this kind of consciousness also exist in Thailand, for example, or in Malaysia? Are you conscious of this quote unquote regional cinema or regionality of cinema? What is your opinion on this, or is this a kind of consciousness that Malaysian cinema or Thai cinema is conscious of? Maybe we can start with Isk and then Jack.
Uh,
Okay, thanks, Jay. I think when you talk about regional cinema in Malaysia, primarily we still target the mass market, and the mainstream cinema here still targets the mass market. There are filmmakers like myself and Elise as well who we are trying to target the regional market, but it isn't easy. There is a small group of us. I think we're getting there, but give it a few more years, we will be getting that kind of recognition. But it's still quite slow moving because here even though we're a multiracial country, we still target a very specific race because that's where the money is at. And without money, we can't do films. So we kind of have to find a balance between the two.
Yeah, I think that's a nice insight. I was just actually watching Metro Malay in Luang Prabang, and I think it's the first time that I saw like a Tamil dominated characters in a film, and I think it shows the diversity also of stories in Malaysia, for example, because and lately I've also been discovering films by Yasmin Ahmad. It's such a pity that it's just now that I'm seeing these films, but yeah, I think it's the diversity is very much also similar to what we have in the Philippines. So maybe for Jack, do you also see this kind of consciousness in Thailand that there are certain regional flavors in, for example, the films that are made in the northern part of Thailand, or in the central part of Thailand, or in the southern part of Thailand? What is your opinion on this?
Uh, in Thailand, like I think, like every country, that we have like a capital, and everything is gonna be there, and a lot of things be there even. And film industry is very narrow in Thailand. If someone want to make a film or study film, they have to go to the Bangkok, the capital, and study there and work there. Not much people, not much filmmakers will back to their hometown and make a film or feature film. Unlike me, because I never studied film here. I just make short film by my own, and I try to connect to the like the industry. But it's really so hard. It's so hard to connect to them, because in the capital everything is about connection. And when I live in Chiang Mai, it's very far from the Bangkok, and then the connection is never reached us. Like every region in Thailand, they have to develop themselves. For now, we a lot of small filmmaker in Thailand, they try to connect each other, not in Bangkok no more. Like in the north south, we have like their own community of filmmaker, and they try to make like a local feature film. And for now, a lot of local feature film is happening in Thailand now, and is a lot of diversity film. Is talk about the local, and talk about some material that's different from the Bangkok. Thai film is a lot of Thai film is a lot of like a romantic story and love story, and sometimes is, I think, is very very nonsense film. A lot of nonsense film in Thailand. Like, I don't know. But for now, in the local, we try to have like their own film, their own cinema, not serve to the Bangkok, because every time the people in the Bangkok, or the studio in the Bangkok, make a film, and they never see us in the local. For me, I want to make my own feature film, like a local one, like the story of the local of the north in Chiang Mai, to strike back to again the capital. I have to tell this story, because in Bangkok, they almost sometimes they love to tell the local story, but sometimes the local story is fake. Is not just from the local perception, local perspective. It's just from the capital in and tell by capital eyes. Their perception is different from the real life. And I want to make my own feature to again back to them. Like we have a good local here. We don't need the capital no more. That's it.
I think that's a very nice sharing, Jack, because
Yeah.
it's good to know that the struggles of independent and like regional
Are
art
common.
filmmakers are very common. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Common.
So
Common.
yeah, you wanna ask
Same.
the next question?
Okay, I would like to greet our viewers. There's our international award-winning director from Brazil, si Bebs Gohecha. He's actually in Brazil because he's blacklisted. uh, and Rap Betting, another, okay, I mentioned him. Uh, our cinematographer, regional cinematographer. Okay. I would like to ask a question to the filmmaker of Two Sisters, Naichi. The actress that you directed in that film, were they part of the? How did you get them? Were they part of the one of the workshopping group
Actually,
in France?
they are also the writers. We
Ah,
together write this film, and but you know, we are in France, and we have to do all things in English and stuff. And also, there's a language barrier, so we don't want to uh, take a test from France side. So we just make a film about us. So they act for us. They are also a writer to our film.
um,
Yeah.
when you had your workshop in France, what realization or what important learnings did you gain from that experience? From that month long, how many months? 1 month? I think it's
1 month.
1 month. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did it apply
Um,
to your craft there in Myanmar?
Actually, for me, the most insightful thing is it's about the script. To learn the script more. We mostly in our Myanmar film, our weak point is script. Like we now in our industry, we have some mainstream cinema, they can afford like budget film high budget in film, but still the scripts some scripts are very weak. So this is what keep us from going international. So uh, mostly my study in France, it's about script, and I learned so many a lot about script. I don't know how to describe, but it's it's very insightful to know that script is not just about writing what you want to do, what you are to be, what you experience in, but um, it's about how to bring audience together, and you know to still watching this film and stuff like that. So it is very interesting to realize that
Hmm.
I'm still trying
Good.
to write more script to to make audience engaging.
Hmm. Uh, Maybe in connection to what Naichi shared, this um, I'm sure you've noticed that there's a trend of like this global co-production, and then Europe's interest in Southeast Asia, for example. We have all these different grants. Maybe for ISK, because you are a producer, you are a producer in Malaysia, and from a producer's perspective, where do you think eventually this kind of scheme, or this co-production schemes and this all of these grants that like connects us to Europe, for example. Do you think this is like eventually going to be beneficial for Asian filmmakers? And how do you see this going on for like the next few years?
Thank you, Jay. That's a great question. From my experience, because a lot of the films that I do it with my brother, who was the director of this film. And last year, he was a fellow at Busan, the Busan Asian Film School. And I was also I was at Bucheon,
Fantastic.
uh, Bucheon Fantastic Film School. Yeah, fantastic. And for me and for my brother to have that experience, it took us to the next level because we then were able to converse with other filmmakers, just like we're doing now. And I feel by talking to other filmmakers, you sort of get a more holistic view of how filmmaking is done. And I'm all for these workshops, these project markets. I think it's extremely beneficial, especially since while we were in Busan and Bucheon, we were developing uh, films and projects with other countries such as the Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and also Vietnam. And we were able to test out these ideas with filmmakers like producers like Raymond from Singapore and also Brillante Mendoza. So to get that kind of insight, I think we always strive to become better filmmakers, and I like to think I have a lot more to learn. So it's just sad that this year we couldn't have the Busan Film School or these other project markets, but I hope that in future we will be able to have it, and it will move us forward to become better filmmakers.
Yeah. Do you share this perspective, Saeed? What Isk just shared regarding the topic of connecting with this global community of filmmakers, of producers, like for the Bangladesh perspective, for example.
Yeah, actually, in these kinds of festivals or workshops or seminars, it's a great opportunity for filmmakers, just or like student filmmakers or independent filmmakers, or just who we are learning, for us to know about our surroundings, and just from them, from those, just learning in a different way and from different contexts, and uh, connecting with each others, because filmmaking, we can say that we just make film because of art, we just make film because we want to change our society, but it is also about making money. It's also about it's also an industry. If you do not have a established industry, you won't be able to run this kind of activities long. So if our countries, our Asian or these countries are like ours, if we can't establish a better industry in our actual film, in a film arena, and if we can't uh, establish this as a better place for the filmmakers, we won't be able to run these projects long. So at first we need the backup. So for our backup, we have to come, we have to work. So our connecting and being connected with each others, that will help us to, in different cases, we would be able to learn from ourselves, we would be able to learn from the foreigners, we would be able to project our films in different Asian countries, if we want to, if we can connect, and that will help us to uh, learn the perspectives of the foreign viewers, and also we will be able to get the revenues, the distribution chain. So it's not about only the production or pre-production, because we also have to think about the post-production, or the distribution and marketing. So in those cases, I think we just here we are here in the six people, we are here not just to share our thoughts, we also are here to connect ourselves. So after that, in any case, if you make a film in future, you want to screen this in our country, how I can help you, how I will be able to help you, and how you can come here and share your thoughts with our people, how we can, I also can come to your country and share my thoughts, because this is a time of globalization. So we are not only to screen our films in just kind of OTT channels, or like uh, Netflix or iFlix, or what can I say, but it's of course a greater medium that we can show our films in, so from distance. But actually, if we want to know each other, these kinds of activities are more important. So in this phase of fourth industrial revolution, we are getting connected, but also we are getting detached. But if we continue to detach in case of specialization, our space is being smaller, and also we are uh, being more disconnected. We are not watching each other in frontally, but we are
Mm.
watching from a distance. So we can just hear, we are sharing our thoughts. But if I would be able to take a cup of coffee with you, so what would happen? We would be more connected and share a long or more views of ourselves. So what would happen? So I think these kinds of activities are more important in case of our films, our film industries, and also in for our psychological or philosophical thoughts, or upgrading the thoughts. So
Mm.
yes, that's all. Thank you.
Mm. Yep. Do we have a question actually?
Actually, walang may questions sa audience. They're just greetings from our internationally acclaimed filmmaker, Bebs.
There's
Let's
actually a question. I think I think Bebs has a question. I'm looking at
uh,
the Facebook message.
uh,
So I think this goes for everyone. How do you deal with negative reviews of films? Of your films, I guess. No. Maybe we start with Jack and then go the same order.
Oh, start with me. Uh, can I see the question again?
Yeah.
how
How do
how
you
do you
deal with?
deal with your negative reviews on your films?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, how I deal with it? Actually, I embrace it. When I every review, I think it's like a lesson for me. Like when I make a short film or any kind of my work, like a video art or anything, I want to know what is my mistake and what is my good. Um, like I'm study in the film, not film, fine art. I study in fine art, and every time I have like my project or the proposal, the art proposal to my teacher or my professor, and I want them to tell me what is bad or good in my project. And I really love, like, if you said the negative review, I really love the negative one, because when we do something good and everybody admire you, and oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, and we never know what is bad. And when we do good already, and the next time we will do good again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure next time I will do good like this again and again or maybe not. But if I got like a bad opinion or bad review and I think okay, I will prove myself, I will prove my work next time. Like okay, this is not good. Okay, so what is good thing? I don't want people to tell me this is good because I think uh, good or best for everyone, for each other is different, and I have to find my own good or own best. Like yeah. Back to the question, how I deal with it. Yes, and I embrace it.
Mm.
Nice.
How about you, Nietzsche?
Oh, yes. Actually, these reviews are the process of your career, I think. Because for me, if I got a bad review, I feel a little sad, but I learn from it. Actually, I have made six or seven short films, and mostly I got all of it. I got bad review from some people. They say bad review to me, but I love it. Actually, I feel sad, but I know I'm not enough. So that's how it remind me I can push myself forwards. It's remind me to push myself forwards, and also I feel like this is a process of learning. If I got a bad review, I said you can say it's just bad. You have to criticize how why it is bad. So I learned from it. I learned from what they say. So I mostly ask constructive criticism for my professional teachers. So it's make me more, it make me more to learn. It make me to learn more. That's that's my that's my answer.
Thanks. And how about you, Saeed? How do you deal with negative criticisms of your films?
Yeah, I am nearly. I have the same opinion, just like Jack and Nay, and because most of our films, when we make, just like ours, student filmmakers or independent filmmakers, when we start making films, we just start from our mistakes. We learn from our mistakes, and when I get some reviews, it of course when they say this it's a great work, or some also says that they don't want to hurt you, they also says that it's a great work for your age, or it's a great work for your stage, so they don't want to hurt us. But I actually prefer negative reviews to positive reviews, because they actually shows us how your shortcomings are working to make your film uh, you know get bad reviews. So uh, in my film, in case of my film, I have got several reviews. Most of those were bad reviews, because they have shown this is the topic, and these are the shortcomings for your script, these are the shortcomings for your uh, lighting. Your lighting are not that actually right for this kind of a scene or this kind of shot, or your uh, continuity. There are some problems in your continuity. So what I am getting from that when I am watching my film, I know what I wanted to do, I know what I did. But when I am getting reviews, that means more eyes are watching my film. There I am getting reviews from very different perspectives, because everyone has different perspectives. They have came from different contexts, and they can take the same thing. A same thing can be different to many different audiences. So when I get the reviews from them, I know how everyone thinks about a single thing. So that makes me more, more gives me more information about a single thing, and I just learn from them and just get more enriched. So I think negative reviews are the most important reviews for one's film. So I take it positively. So
Mm.
thank you.
Maybe thank you, Saiyeed. Maybe for ISK, because like from a producer's perspective, like how do you actually deal with negative reviews? Because of course you want to market your film and you want to highlight positive reviews, right? So from the producer's perspective, how do this actually works? This do you talk about this like serious in a serious manner, or yeah? I'm interested to know, like from a producer's perspective.
Okay, so um, when it comes to negative reviews, the way I deal with it is usually with lots and lots of alcohol. But I'm just joking. um, for me, I am actually the biggest critic or negative review of all the films that I do, especially since I work very closely with my brother. But the one thing I always remember is that the first film we do, the second film we do, the third film we do, or even the 10th film we do is never gonna be a masterpiece. It's never gonna be perfect because everyone is built differently. I like horror, but you may not like horror. You like romance, I might not like romance. So you can't please everyone, and I think that's the most important thing to learn. Um, what we can work on is the technical side of things, like just now Syed was mentioning, Conti, or the way you do your shots. Those are little things we can improve on to sort of tell a better story. But as a producer, of course, for me, like when we released our film, I know that a lot of people prefer controversy or scandal because that stays in the news a lot longer than say good news. Someone donates money to a charity, yeah, that's great. It'll last maybe a day or two. But if there's a sex scandal, suddenly you're talking about it for weeks. So we like to play on scandal and controversy. In Malaysia, we are quite conservative in the sense that most of the films we do cannot be overly sexy or have or insinuate sex scenes or too much violence. So as a producer, that's what I focus on. Our poster sort of was more like we had our actress play a very sex symbol, and in our films we had a bit more gore and violence because these are things which people get curious about, and then they go to the cinema to watch it because it's so forbidden and it's so restrictive here. So as a producer, I play on negative reviews and also controversy, because that's how I find it best to market a film. It's not great, but it's what works for me as a producer. Of course, as a director or a storyteller, that's not exactly what you want to hear. You want to become a better filmmaker. But my job as a producer is to get the film out there, and so I work on those elements. Yeah.
Mm. That's a very thank you for all of your sharing. I think that's a very nice insight, a balance between like from a filmmaker's perspective and of course hearing you is from a producer's perspective. And I hope Derek Bebs takes all of this insight because he was the one who asked. Maybe he also experienced negative reviews in his films. Yeah. You wanna ask another question, Dolph? Or do we have a question from the audience?
There's no more parang wala natang question from the audience. Yeah. Do you have any questions, Jay?
Actually, that's my maybe like a last closing question. Maybe we can have another round, and I want to ask you guys, like, where do you see your cinema, for example, Thai, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Malaysian cinema? Where do you see your cinemas, like, considering the new normal? Yeah, how do you place it, and what are the prospects, do you think? What are you hopeful for? Yeah. So maybe we start with Jack again.
Okay. Can you repeat the question again? My is
Yeah. Where do you
is
think your cinema, Thai cinema, for in general, where do you think it is headed, considering that we have this new normal kind of thing, and it also affects our filmmaking process, right? So, what prospects are you seeing in the new normal in terms of filmmaking? And yeah, basically that's it.
okay. What do I think about the new normal of the COVID-19? Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay. uh, still, it's okay. Uh, what I think about it is I have to think further. Sorry. Okay. What I think? I think is it's our it's not our responsibility. I think it is the government's responsibility. It depends on the government when we if you want to go out and shooting filming. It's about the politics. It's about the policy of the government. Like back in back in couple months ago, I went to their film shooting, like the big feature film shooting. I was a second AD, and we have to postpone the the production, the filming for 2 months because of the COVID, and is have to like how to say it. It depends on the what government said. Like they said, okay, in a few months ago, they said if you have to filming, you have to be like a 50, not small, no more 50%, 50 crews, including actor, yes, and but when we film and almost done, and the government said, okay, you can up to the like a 150 now, and you know, sometimes it is sometimes it's kind of headache for what government said. Like one day they said, okay, you cannot do this, and another day, okay, not you can do this, but cannot do this. It's change all the time, and everything, everything. I don't know, I don't know how to say, it, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's depend on the government, and
Mm.
about fun for me. I'm doing my short film. Okay, I have to do like not much people, just a few people, like me and my girlfriend in the house, only just that, and filming and
Mm.
submit to the festival. Like this film, the Stencil daughter is filmed on the COVID period, and
Okay.
they said like okay, no. It's a funny thing. One funny thing. When I filming this short film, the government said the film production, the film production crews have should be no more than 5 people.
Mm.
It's very ridiculous because
Yeah.
5 people. What are we gonna do with 5 people? And then because every filmmaker say back, what the hell this cannot be, we cannot make it in 5 people, and they change the policy. Okay, it's up to 50. Like this is,
Mm,
it's very stupid government in Thailand.
mm.
This is my opinion.
Yeah, I think we get your point, Jack. No, I think it's pretty
Okay.
much summed up by Rap here that governments have inconsistent protocols, and it's very difficult to adjust, especially because like filmmaking is a creative process and it requires a lot of craft and it involves people, and you cannot just like switch these adjust automatically with all of these protocols. No, and I think in the Philippines we also have that kind of struggle to like define what really are the protocols that would fit for film productions, like for mainstream film productions and for independent film productions, which have different kinds of modalities of production. So yeah, I think what you're saying is correct, and inconsistent protocols, I think, what sums it up. Um, how about the others? How do you see like filmmaking now in the new normal? Anyone can start, or anyone can
Naichi.
like
Or
react to
yeah,
that,
Naichi, or maybe Naichi.
Uh,
or
Or
anyone if you
yeah,
feel like reacting
yeah.
to.
Say Sayed,
okay,
Sayed,
I think
Sayed,
Uh,
or Naichi.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, Naichi. Okay,
Should I
Sai,
start? Should I? Okay, okay.
yeah.
Naichi, please start,
okay.
and then after
Uh,
that I will.
I don't know. Last month, like this first year, I've been working on the feature length film project as assistant director. Also, as Jack say, we have been postponed. Like they said, like we will be postponing for 2 months, but according to the government policy, we can start until now. We've been postponing for like 8 months already. So I don't know what will happen next. Hopefully everything's over in next year.
Okay.
Okay, I can share
Yeah.
my experience.
Sayed.
Yes, go Sayed.
Uh, I will. I have told that I was working in a feature-length film as an assistant director. So it was it is a child film, actually, about a child who lost her parrot, actually. She was about 9 years old. Uh, the story is in this story. She is about 9 years old, goes to her school, and one day, uh, her parrot just flew away, and the story goes on. So what happened? We were shooting, and started the story. Shooting was started on March, and after that, on March 27, in our country, the lockdown just came on. So what happened? Our shooting postponed. Two lots have been shot, and after that, the more three lots were to shot, and it was postponed. So in our country, till August, or I think it was September, till September, it was uh, prohibited to start shooting, in case of shooting, because there are, you know, more people, and you have to maintain many things about your safety, about your caste safety, and in case of children, it is more difficult. And what happened? We just tried to start after the lockdown has been, you know, taken away, uh, on October, but we couldn't start because there are different issues. You know, the actors, the actress, and the parents of the child actors or actors. They were not uh, actually affirmative about their, uh, boys or girls to provide them to us for their shooting, because they were worried. So it was a problem them to just make up their mind to just start mind to uh, permit them to shoot. So after that, we have just started our shooting on December. This December, we have just shot on December 3 for one day. And what happened? We have found it more earlier, but we have just watched uh, our footage and found that the child actress, she has been grown up, you know and what happened, she has been grown up, and in this case, the continuity, actually we are not able
Oh
to
yeah.
maintain the continuity. So what we should do, so we just stop the shooting, and what happened, now we will start again in a different way, actually. So these kinds of problems we are facing, and in
mm,
case of shooting, we have to maintain more, safety things. Actually, when
mm,
in before that, we are not about worried about different kinds of things about maintaining, PPT or something.
mm,
So now we have also have to keep these things in our mind, and
mm,
we have to uh, keep a few, cast and crews. Not about cast, we have to take all the cast, but in case of crews, we are not able to take all the crews. So what
mm,
happens in this case of there are these kinds of difficulties, and for those we have lots of shortcomings in our production. So these are the experiences. So I don't know how, I think we will cope up with that in this new normal situation, but I think it will take more time, because now if it continues for 1 or 2 years more, we have to think about our script, that we have to change our script in a
mm,
different way, that we have to we can do things in this situation. Or in case of governments, what Jay said or me said, that there needs some policies, of course, that how our production, people in our production will maintain those things. And of course, I think the government needs we need some support from the government, from different
mm,
filmmakers in different cases, because
mm,
now the cinema halls are not open,
Yeah.
the
mm,
people are not, so it's a
Those.
great problem, we are not being able to release our films. So where
mm,
people will go or something. So in this
Mm.
case, and comes new situation about what actually going on in case of platforms like online platforms. But countries like ours, in case of Bangladesh, actually, uh, online platforms are not that much. Uh,
Popular.
People are not
mm,
being, not actually habituated to go
mm,
watch films through this. So they are likely to go cinema halls. So
mm,
it will take time, actually. The new
mm,
normal situation, we have to, if we want to cope up with it, it will take time, and I think we will, because so that's all.
mm. I think that's a very nice insight, Saeed, what you said. Like the kind of situation that we're in now is it's not always it's not only a concern of like the administrative part of it, but also like the creative part of it. Like, will this new normal actually change the way we write our scripts, write our stories? And I think in one of our talkback sessions, like I think it was the other day, another filmmaker also pointed that out. Like being in this situation with these restrictions also like enables, I don't know, a creativity or a certain innovation, but eventually it's also gonna shape or gonna mold the way we write our scripts or write our stories. But maybe lastly is can provide because you are in currently right now in shooting. So maybe you can provide a more concrete picture of what's actually going on in, like, for example, in your case there in Malaysia.
Okay, so having produced before this 4 feature films, my approach has always been sort of budget approach, high concept. And so I usually work with a skeleton crew. I usually usually film everything within 2 weeks, and my budget is usually quite manageable. So with all due respect to this new normal, this kind of environment is an environment which me and my team thrive in. We actually, it hasn't really affected us. Instead, it has sort of allowed us to easily adapt to the new restrictions. And because the major cinemas are closing, have started to close down, or they're not open, next year is probably a good year for us to shine, because we are sort of one of the few production companies that are actually filming, only because the largest studios here don't want to put in so much money, millions into films, because it's already such a big risk. There are no cinemas to go to. So independent films like ours are the ones we're still filmmaking, we're still rolling, and it allows us to then get eyeballs on us, because people want content. The VOD platforms in Malaysia, especially, they are looking for content, but the major studios are not doing big content, so they turn to us. That's how I was able to get, like, I did a film during lockdown. I was able to get that on a platform as well, because there is scarcity there. So moving forward, I think I always like to use this analogy. I always say, if you ask me to do a film on a budget of say 20,000 USD, I can do it. If you ask me to do a film on a budget of 2 million USD, I can do it. But if you ask a big studio to do a film, a budget of 2 million USD, definitely they can do it. But you ask them to do a film on a budget of 20,000 USD, they'll definitely run away, because they wouldn't know how to work with that. And so this is the time for independent filmmakers and producers such as ourselves to make a name for ourselves. So there is some good in it, because now all eyes are on us, who are able to work with a smaller crew, with a smaller budget, and also put art house films out there at festivals such as this one.
Yeah. That's I think that's a ray of light, a ray of hope that we are looking what we're looking for. No? Like practically what is just said. No?
I want to get a quick follow-up lang question kay Is, no? You said that the big companies are not risking it anymore because of they don't want to lose money,
Hmm.
because the traditional sources like cinema houses are not operating. Is it also a risk for you that you're you're spending money, but although it is smaller than compared to the big films, but are you prepared to risk, to gamble on this extraordinary time?
Yeah, yes, I am, because I do want to tell a good story, and because every dollar counts when you are a budget filmmaker. That I've allocated my money so that, okay, I can do 3 more films after this and all that. I don't want my next film to be my last film. I want to continue. It is still a risk, but also it's not. I've mitigated the risk by lowering the amount that, say, the larger studios put in. I'm not putting in 1 million. I'm putting in less than 100,000. That's, I would still be able to see that money back within the next 5 years, usually, based on what we've done so far. So the risk is not as high as the larger studios.
Unfortunately, time is we're already
Yeah,
exceeded the
the 1 hour. But I think this is a very,
yeah
very interesting and very insightful discussion, and not to mention the fact, of course, that this is the first time that
realizations also.
um, this is the first time that we're getting in touch, discussing with fellow Asian filmmakers, particularly for Mindanao Film Festival, and I think this is a very opportune moment for the festival also to be exposed and know that there are diverse stories out there from Asia, from our Asian neighbors, and thank you once again for joining us.
Yeah.
Do you wanna maybe like we asked them both not to
to
like
promote
just promote their film.
their films.
Yeah. So we start with
And
Jack, and
si
then
Jack,
Nietzsche, Saeed, and then Is.
Okay, promote. Uh, for now, I have nothing to promote yet, but maybe it's my current short film for this festival, Stencil Author, and it will available on 13, right? 13 December. Okay, and okay, if you have some problem about talking or about family, okay, please watch my short film and you will see the solution and you will see some kind of easy solution. But I hope you will you will talking with your parent or children and find your own solution again. Thank you.
Okay.
Naichi.
Okay, and thank you for selecting my film. I just want to thank you, the film festival, Minando, right? Minando, right?
Mindanao.
Mindanao. Yeah, I can pronounce it. Okay, and okay, for my film, please watch. This is a film about a girl who girls girls can feel it if you are dealing with authorities. So please watch and enjoy my film. If you want to talk about my film, you can comment me. And thank you.
Okay. Saiyeed.
Okay, I want to say thanks again for selecting our films in your prestigious film festival. Actually, I am greatly honored, and our whole team is honored to be a part of the festival. And I just want to ask, after this session, uh, do we have any opportunity to connect each other or something?
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
How can we do that? You can, uh, because this is a live screening actually, so I think we shouldn't just go further. But after that, I think we should get a 1 or 2 minute session
Yeah,
that we
that's a great
can just
idea.
be
That's
connected with each other.
because aside from Mindanao Film Fest, there are also we are also interconnected with other regional film festivals, right, Jay? Aside because many are also many filmmakers from the Philippines are also watching this talk back. I would like to mag-shout out muna ko, Jay, to Zurich from Zamboanga, Leonard Christian Rivera
Hi,
Apaw.
Zurich.
Then we have, of course, the award-winning blacklisted filmmaker, Bebs Cohecha, and Rap Meting. Yan.
Hello, guys. Thank you for
Hello,
watching.
guys. That's a great suggestion, Sayid, no? Because I realize, no, we have the common problems, the common issues, but also the common passion, no? Or yung that we would like to elevate our form of cinema against, not against, but because our countries are what I say in the mainstream are against the flow of the mainstream, no. So with the common stand of these filmmakers, I think we would like to have a network. Maybe this is a stepping stone, no. I hope we can make with Jay, Bugsy, and other filmmakers here in Mindanao, and also regional filmmakers from the Philippines. We could take the initial steps.
Okay, thank you. And of course, about my film, I would like to say that um if you actually a fan of social problem films, and if you are a thinker and you just want to uh, participate in uh, different works that will help to solve your social and political problems, and you know uh, not actually solving, you just want to take part and do something actually. So I think if you just love these kinds of activities, you can watch our short film Ainer Dorojay actually, and it is titled Before the Law in English. And I think you will get some insights about these things. So I hope you will enjoy the cinema. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, yes, yes.
Uh, Thank you, Rudolph. Thank you, Jay, for selecting our film. On behalf of myself and my team, thank you for giving us the opportunity to share with you what we've done. Please watch my film Bisik. Its English title is Whisper to God. If you like films between people who are dying, then I guess you can watch it. But one thing I would like to say is to the other filmmakers out there, or those who are starting out on their journey, just pick up a camera and start shooting, because we hesitated for a while before we actually started, and once we started, we couldn't stop. So keep the passion alive, and thank you so much. It's festivals like this which keep us independent filmmakers motivated and keep going. So thank you, Rudolph. Thank you, Jay, and thank you to the others, Saiyeed, Nay, and Jack.
Thank you, Isk. Say hello to
Uh,
Elise for me
I
if
will.
she's there.
I will.
okay,
Yeah. So yeah, thank you,
thank
Saiyeed.
you,
Thank you,
Naichi and
Thank
Neichi. Thank you, Jack.
you.
Thank you so much for your time. We hope to get in touch and look forward to your future films.
Jay. We would like to
And we
thank.
have partners to thank.
Thank. Okay, Film Development Council of the Philippines, Japan Foundation, VIDC, Globe Telecoms, Touch Mobile, Southspot, and the Alchemy of Vision and Light Productions.
Yes, and don't forget to watch their films on the Mindanao Film Festival YouTube channel. It's still ongoing up to December 13th. So once again, thank you, good night, and stay safe.
Thank you.